Welcome back, collectors and enthusiasts, to another episode of Comic Statues Unleashed. Today, we dive deep into the breathtaking and bone-chilling world of the Dark Metal storyline brought to life by Prime One Studios in this jaw-dropping Batman vs. Joker Dragon diorama in a huge 1/3 scale. Just be careful with your clothing, as this has a lot of sharp edges that it can get caught on.
My gentleman's blouse!
Prime One Studios has outdone themselves with this piece. It's not just a statue, it's a testament to the artistry of storytelling and the craftsmanship of collectible art. Whether you're a fan of Batman, the Joker, or simply stunning works of art, this diorama is a must-have centerpiece for any collection. Join me as we delve into the artistry as well as the comic book history of this unique piece while we unbox, assemble, and review it. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. And please, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps to build the channel. But first, a little backstory. The Prime One Studios Batman vs. Joker Dragon piece draws inspiration from the Dark Metal, a storyline by Scott Snyder and Craig Capullo, which delves into the Dark Multiverse, an area twisted with alternate versions of familiar characters. Joker Dragon originates from the Dark Multiverse, where they serve as nightmarish manifestations of the Joker's influence. In Dark Metal, these creatures are under the control of the Batman Who Laughs, a hybrid of Batman and the Joker from Earth -22. The Batman Who Laughs uses the Joker Dragons as both symbols of chaos and as fearsome weapons in his conquest of the multiverse. They are grotesque blends of reptilian anatomy and the Joker's iconic features, emphasizing his infectious, corrupting madness. As always, Batman symbolizes order and justice, even when confronted with the most chaotic and twisted threats from the multiverse. Sure enough, I am slowly but surely making my way through the entire Dark Metal line and impressed by the progress, yet I can't help but feel something is still a little missing.
Damn, bro, you must get bitches.
Still no bitches.
The art boxes are both well illustrated and highly detailed with vibrant colors. Sideshow Collectibles, please take note at this point. Included inside the huge piece is the assembly pamphlet. Nice and large pictures as well. And a quick special note here, Prime One has come out of their way to highlight a fragile portion of this statue. Be very cautious of Batman's loincloth. As we begin, we have Box 1, Layer A wrapped up. Unwrapped, we see the dragon mohawk as well as both of Batman's hands holding medieval axes. This diorama wouldn't be complete without the weapons that add layers of storytelling to the scene. Batman is double fisting a pair of medieval battle axes, their blades jagged and battle-worn as if it's seen countless skirmishes in the Dark Multiverse. The metallic sheen is expertly painted with weathering effects that make it look as though it's been forged in the fires of conflict. Pay particular attention to the bat signal emblems adorning both weapons. The Joker's mohawk is both large and robust. Very impressive and well detailed, with individualized hairs and great paint application. Next is Box 1, Layer B, still wrapped up. Unwrapped, we see the very large and imposing base. As some scale reference, here I am holding the base. I will utilize myself in this video to showcase some of the absurdly large pieces on this particular statue. Let's start with the base, the foundation of this incredible diorama. Prime One Studios has outdone themselves with a base that not only supports the scene, but tells its own story. The rocky terrain is jagged and uneven, evoking a battlefield ravaged by chaos. Scattered debris and shattered remnants of a medieval Gotham's architecture hint at the Joker Dragon's destructive path. Look closer and you'll notice subtle nods to the Dark Metal storyline, etched runes and a color palette that leans into apocalyptic tones of black, gray, and crimson. The weathering on the stones and metallic accents adds a layer of realism that immerses you in this dark and twisted world. This base isn't just there to support the figures, it's a key piece of storytelling that sets the tone for the entire statue. Below that, we have a sub-base of what appears to be a time-accurate church or castle foundation, with cathedral-like windows or entranceways. Moving on, we have Box 2, Layer A. Unwrapped, we have the stunning serpent body, as well as probably the greatest cape I have ever seen, plus some auxiliary armor pieces. I just wanted to insert 2 quick side notes at this point. One, I have no idea why Prime 1 felt they needed to include so many salt packs. This is only a small portion of them from one layer. And 2, the tissue paper used is the softest and most gentle tissue paper I have ever felt. It is definitely not the regular paper that Prime 1 usually uses. Very nice touch. Now, let's talk about the real showstopper, the Joker Dragon himself. This serpentine monstrosity is a masterclass in design, blending horror and whimsy into one grotesquely beautiful creature. The scaly body coils around the base, creating a sense of movement and tension. Each scale is individually sculpted with a texture that's both reptilian and outworldly. The blend of muted greens and purples gives the nod to the Joker's traditional colors, while the blood red accents add to the creature's menacing aura. It's horrifyingly creative, reimagining of the Joker's chaotic energy, brought to life in stunning detail. Again, another scale reference just to hammer home how large this dragon piece actually is. Moving on, the cape is tattered and windswept and can be positioned in dynamic motion to emphasize the intensity of the movement. It is a thick and heavy material, very luxurious to the touch, and has a faux fur application on it as well. This is easily one of the best quality capes I have ever seen for a piece. Batman's armor is heavily adorned with Celtic-style embellishments. It is greatly distressed and suits the theme wonderfully. The actual paint application relies heavily on purple hues and gold tones, which play together well and look fantastic. Each piece was given great attention and time to achieve this level of detail. Other components are fur-covered as well, adding another layer to this already incredible piece. Batman. Finally, we have Box 2, Layer B, still wrapped up. And unwrapped, we have the body, tail, as well as both portraits. Here, we have the Joker tail, which contributes to the immense length of this dragon as he coils around Batman. Even this auxiliary piece is given incredible detail and paint application. Particularly notable is the underside, as the scales have a highly reflective and iridescent look. Even the color palette used is spot on. Next, we have the left arm and shoulder of Batman himself. His suit of armor sits atop a chain-link suit and is remarkable. The battle damage is clear throughout the piece, and the fur accents are well placed to continue the aesthetic of a medieval Batman. Finally, we have the Dark Knight himself, standing tall and defiant atop this chaotic scene. This isn't the polished Batman of Gotham's streets. This is a warrior from the Dark Multiverse, battle-hardened and ready for war. His armor is a mix of tactical design and medieval inspiration, with sharp angles and plated textures that provide both protection and style. The detailing on his cowl and medieval utility belt shows Prime 1's commitment to accuracy, with every seam and groove meticulously rendered. The distinction between fabrics and materials is clear and outstanding. The dragon portrait itself is phenomenal to say the least. Not only is it large and menacing, it is painted beyond exemplary. The contrasting tones and hues create an iridescent look, and the clear resin give it a moist and realistic look. The Joker's iconic grin is stretched across the dragon's face, its jagged teeth exaggerated to emphasize menace. The eyes are wide and fixated with a gleaming, wet finish that makes you truly feel this monster's presence. Not to be outdone though, we have the angry portrait of the Batman. What truly sets this Batman apart is his expression, a look of unyielding resolve. This is a man who has faced nightmares and refuses to falter. Whether you're a fan of Batman's character or the Dark Knight's Metal series, this depiction captures the very essence of the Dark Knight's indomitable spirit. Just a few quick still shots for some side-by-side comparisons between these two portraits. As we take a moment to appreciate the assembly process and the full display of this masterpiece, let's delve into the fascinating world of statue collecting and the artistry behind it. This extraordinary piece takes us straight into the heart of the Dark Multiverse, where chaos reigns supreme and nightmares become reality. Standing tall at an impressive 32 inches in height, this statue captures the intense battle between Batman, the ever-relentless protector of justice, and the Joker Dragon, a grotesque embodiment of chaos and corruption. The Dark Knight, even in the face of such monstrous madness, remains steadfast. His pose here, mid-battle, determined, and resourceful, perfectly encapsulates the spirit of Bruce Wayne. No matter how overwhelming the odds or how nightmarish the threat, Batman will always rise to the challenge. On the other hand, the Joker Dragon's mouth brims with its own arsenal of chaos. Its fangs seem ready to pierce through any foe, while its serpentine tail twists and threatens. These elements highlight the duality of this piece: Batman's calculated precision versus the Joker's chaotic unpredictability. Statue collecting, as we know it today, finds its root in ancient civilizations. Cultures use statues to honor their gods, heroes, and rulers. Fast forward to the modern era, and our heroes now hail from the pages of comic books, brought to life through intricate polystone or resin casting. What sets contemporary statues apart is their ability to balance realism with artistic interpretation. For example, the textures of this statue's surface are not just about visual appeal, they're designed to evoke emotion. The tactile elements, the folds in the cape, the cracks in the armor, the scales on the dragon, connect us to the character's narrative in a tangible way. These details don't just tell a story, they make us feel like we're part of it. Statue collecting also speaks to a deeper connection we have with these characters. They symbolize ideas, resilience, hope, chaos, or even rebellion. Displaying them, in some ways, is a form of reflection of ourselves and the stories we hold dear. It's this emotional response that makes these pieces more than the collectibles. They're personal artifacts, imbued with meaning and memory. In terms of overall size for the assembled piece, we'll get some measurements in here. The base itself, at the very bottom, is only about 17 inches across. Fully assembled, the statue has an overall height of 32 inches at the very peak. But the real challenge in displaying this piece will come at its width. At the maximum point I measured, it was about 29 inches across. And just for one final reference, here's my fist next to the portrait of the dragon. This is a monster portrait. When you step back and take in the diorama as a whole, the synergy between each element is truly breathtaking. The base grounds the piece in a world of destruction and chaos. The Joker Dragon coils and contorts, creating movement that draws the eye upward. Batman stands as a stark contrast to the madness below, a symbol of hope and resilience. The scale of this piece is monumental, and the attention to detail is second to none. It's not just a statue, it's a narrative frozen in time, a battle between two forces that represent opposing ideologies. This diorama is more than a collectible, it's a centerpiece for my collection and a testament to Prime One Studios' ability to bring comic-inspired stories to life in ways that leave us all in awe. In the end, I had to relocate this piece to the other side of my collection. I feel it was just too heavy for the shelf I had there. Despite the fact that that shelf is rated for over 250 pounds and I was sitting on top of it no problem, this piece just seemed unstable on there for some reason, so I figured better move it over to the other shelves where I have no concerns at all. It's much more secure here. Well, that wraps up another one. I hope you all enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment of what you think about the piece below. I'd love to hear it. Until we meet again, keep your passion for collecting alive and your love for superheroes soaring.